2011 Ultimate Builder Custom Bike Show in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're talking with Troy Kyne at Kyne Customs, and that's with a K. Troy, take a moment, tell us about your background.
Well, my background was in construction, and I'm also a manufacturer, but of not of bikes, of wooden pallets, and kind of got started showing off the money bike here and wanted to create my own bike. And this is something we took a lot of time and looking through magazines, getting some inspiration and trying to find something that was different than what I've seen out there. And what we tried to do is create something like you always hear the iron horse, if you're going to ride the iron horse. Well, we created something that's a little more predator-like, and we call it the Predasaurus, and I think it turned out pretty good.
What were you trying to accomplish with this build, other than stand out from everybody else?
Well, I actually wanted to, you know, more than just a paint job on a fender or a paint job on a tank. I wanted to try to create a bike that actually looked like a creature. So we took the alien and the predator, and we kind of combined the two of them, and we came up with the Predasaurus here. And it's pretty unique. It doesn't really look like a bike when you start looking at it and you look at the detail work in it. There's a lot to look at here. It really is. Not only the paint job itself, but the fabrication on the bike is just outstanding.
Well, let's talk about the fabrication.
Well, the fabrication, we worked on it through a hot rod shop. It was called Bryce's Hot Rods out of Erie, Colorado. And we just started off with the frame itself, which is Redneck Engineering is the name of the frame. It's a curved frame, it's a rigid, and we started with that frame, and I liked the frame because it had a lot of the curves and the shape of what I was trying to create here. And you can see the curve in the front, which we came out and we made the mouth of. We also have the curve in the tank and the down drop here by the seat. And it just fit the bike perfect to what we were wanting to put together. So.
Now the face of the bike with the incisors and teeth, is that how's that fabricated?
Well, that was all fabricated out of aluminum, blocks of aluminum that we ground down to make the teeth out of, and the rest of it was just little bending in metal that we put together, a lot of cutting and fabricating that we did to create that. We also put some layers in the back here and some struts to make this back fender so it would actually support the ride. And these are actually layered over the top of each other is how we did that on the back here. Every piece of metal was cut and fabricated and layered. It turned out really nice. You know, met all our expectations.
Let's talk about paint.
Paint was done by True Customs. His name's Josh Barassa, and this whole bike was, there wasn't any painting that was done on it. It was all airbrushed from start to finish, and like you can see, if you start looking at the bike, you'll see the detail, and you'll notice some things out of the Predator, the movie The Predator. You'll notice some things out of the movie The Predator and the Alien that are put in this bike, and that was our theme that we went off of. And Josh did a great job painting this bike and putting it together for us.
What companies were instrumental in getting your bike finished?
Well, we started out with Redneck Engineering. We got the frame from Redneck, and from there we built it in the garage there and mocked it up, and then took it back apart and went over to Bryce's Hot Rods down in Erie, Colorado, and Bryce had a big play in it. We actually fabricated the tank, the fender, all the metal work around the frame, and put that back together, brought it back home, and started off, and then brought the painter into the thing and kind of got our theme together, what we wanted to do, and sent it off to Josh. He painted all these pieces and powder coated and chromed them, and then came back to the garage and started putting it together with a gentleman named Steve Forsythe with Full Moon Customs. And Steve did a really great job putting it together. We didn't have any nicks or dings in it, and we tried to hide everything on this bike too. If you look through it, you won't see too many wires showing, or you look through it, try to find the battery, try to find the oil tank, and you'll have a hard time finding all those things. Another neat design that we made, being it's a rigid bike, we made a pogo air ride seat on this bike here. And the seat's flat right now because of the cold weather, but actually this seat will raise up and lower down, gives us an air ride on the bike. And bike has hydraulic clutch on it, so really a smooth riding bike, really is.
What about the engine on this?
Engine's an S&S 124. We went through and had it all diamond cut, put back together, and did a lot of neat things too, because around all the parts on here we didn't only powder coat, and we chromed them first, came back and powder coated, and then we came back and did some airbrushing on top of that powder coat, and then clear coated on top of that. And if you look through it, there's just detail after detail on this bike. Hours to build it, we had probably over 8,000 hours building this thing. We started it back in 2005 and really worked hard the last year and got it put together in November of 2010. It's just a really neat bike, something you don't see a lot of. So we hope to get it out there and let the public see it.
Somebody'd like to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
They could reach us at www.kynescustom.com. And, or you can get us on an email at jkyne1463@msn.com.
Troy, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.